Also trending today, the Kremlin says Russian President Vladimir Putin has visited headquarters of Russian troops fighting in Ukraine. A video released by the Kremlin shows Putin visiting the command posts in southern Ukraine's Kherson province. The trip was Putin's second to Russian-occupied areas of Ukraine in many months.
Товарищ Верховный Главнокомандующий, указ на категории к работе готовы, генерал-полковник Лапин. Здравия желаю.
Russian President Vladimir Putin visited command posts of his forces fighting in Ukraine for the second time in 2 months, while Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made his latest trip to positions near the front line. The visits, on different days and in different provinces, sought to stiffen the resolve of soldiers as the war approaches its 14th month, and as Kiev readies a possible counteroffensive with Western-supplied weapons. Kremlin video broadcast by Russian state television showed Putin arriving by helicopter on Monday at the command post of Russian forces in southern Ukraine's Kherson province, and then flying to the headquarters of the Russian National Guard in Luhansk province in the east. Putin attended briefings with his military brass in both of his stops. Meanwhile, today, Zelensky made his latest trip to visit units in Donetsk province and handed out awards. Russia's war in Ukraine has become largely deadlocked amid heavy fighting in the east, particularly around the Donetsk province city of Bakhmut, which for 8.5 months has seen the longest and bloodiest battle so far. Kherson, Luhansk, Donetsk, and Zaporizhia provinces were annexed illegally by Russia in September following local referendums that Ukraine and the West denounced as shams. Despite that, large parts of those areas have remained under Ukrainian control. In November, Russian forces ceded territory in Kherson province, including the region's namesake capital. Putin's trips came as Ukraine is preparing a new counteroffensive to reclaim occupied territories. Ukrainian officials have said they're depleting Russian forces in eastern Ukraine, and Zelensky has argued that if Russia seizes Bakhmut, it could allow Putin to begin building international support for a deal requiring Ukraine to make compromises to end the war. Meanwhile, at least 3 civilians were killed and 11 wounded in Ukraine between Monday and Tuesday, according to Zelensky's office. Most of the casualties occurred in the eastern Donbas region. 6 other people were wounded in artillery fire in the city of Kherson.